Congratulations, Bruce, for winning the award for podcast. Not best podcast, not worst podcast, but for podcast.
Judge
Do you have any choice words to say about this award?
I want to kill myself.
Okay, good start.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get this shit on a roll.
Hey, it's me, Bruce. Welcome to the SnoopCast. I don't even care. My name is Bruce.
With every episode, everyone just gets more and more depressed.
I'm always depressed, so
I'm always depressed
I fit
24/7.
right at home.
Yeah, but this podcast isn't helping.
Alright, fucking announce yourselves.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be, I'm left. Okay, alright, I'm, Reginald Roundhouse Kick the Fifth. I don't do very much except draw. I do a lot of stuff on DeviantArt and Tumblr, so if you want to check me out there, go ahead, self-plug. Alright, who's next?
I am Trench, the ultimate bench warmer. I like to kick
Nice.
people in the nuts, and I hate every single movie on the planet that isn't made by Guillermo del Toro.
I'm Zafira, and I don't actually do anything of any significance. I have an Emily Vasquez channel, but let's not talk about that.
Which Emily channel was it? There's like so many, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm the
at
first
least
and best, okay.
there is
Alright.
a couple of them. You'll be
Who's
surprised.
here? Who's here also?
I'm Nova. I just do voiceovers. Now I don't. So,
Yeah,
fuck.
and you send us nude pictures of Scaredy Squirrel characters.
What? What are you doing?
Sorry,
What are
did
you
I
doing
miss
back
something?
here?
No, we were looking at crappy DeviantArt pictures.
Oh yeah.
That's
That's
in the naming.
scarred me for life. Yeah, hey, I have no name, so don't call me by a name. I have a
Otto.
YouTube channel called Disco Spider. Yeah, I'm depressed all the time. That's me. I
What is
hate
this,
cartoons,
Cool Cat?
but
And,
Okay, who's
I hate
next?
everything.
we have Pizza Joe, who's muted. And our final person, and Andrew, we have Andrew here. And,
Yeah, but I'm not on the thumbnail, so fuck me.
and our special guest for this episode will be...
How's it going, James?
No.
Hi.
James is an animator, am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, hence the name Animated
Are you-
James.
And can you please list off a couple things that you have created?
Sure. Probably most notably the Sonic vs. MLP series. But I've also made good things. I made Marvel Musical, an animation called Marvel Musical. I made a pilot episode to a series that I sort of canceled called Sea Students Pilot. And I made a bunch of My Little Pony animations. And like two Teen Titans Go animations.
Wait, hey, James, I have a question.
What?
You said you were going to because you're starting to gain some what's it called? You were doing this kind of flash
What?
comic called Middle Grounds, right? If I'm correct.
Yeah. I still have ideas for that. But then again, I have a lot of ideas. So this one thing that I'm working on is sort of like superseding Middle Ground right now, but you know, it is something that I would like to expand.
No, it'll be very exciting to see what you have planned. Definitely.
Right. Thanks.
All right, to get on to what we were going to talk about.
Anything.
I have no idea what's going on right now.
Are we even on air?
Yeah, we are. Unfortunately. But anyway,
this podcast
there's-
has turned into nothing but a whiny little bitch talking about.
Hey
stuff.
guys, I have a question. So, what do you think about Squidward's voice actor?
Oh
Getting
yeah,
it,
we gotta
DUI.
announce this. I'm gonna announce this. So, Squidward's voice actor, Roger Bumpus, he was arrested for a DUI.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I was
I've
there
been
telling
scrolling
him
through-
he shouldn't drink.
Squidward's career suicide.
You know,
My name is
Squidward
Squidward
drinking.
Tentacle.
I said this-
I've actually
Okay, I
drank 50 beers because I had to lose my job, and thanks to fucking SpongeBob. Their annoying ass
head on
fan
the
living
mountain,
next
wow.
door is bothering me, and I have to do everything to,
What
you know,
shit
try
is
to avoid him and his goddamn antics. I mean,
What the fuck
I'm
is
tired
next,
of-
Border Town?
I'm tired
Um,
of going to this job and being paid to $2.50 an hour by a cheapskate boss.
Sheepskank?
It was noting, it was Bose telling me that I'm not going to make it to my clarinet clitoris clear.
So,
Okay, I said this earlier when we weren't on. There were a couple people in here, but you know that one episode of SpongeBob where it's like the good like the good boater and the bad one, and Squidward, like it's the contrast dummy with Squidward's face over it.
Adjusting your mirrors. What's our boat smarts boater up to now? You guessed it. He's adjusting his mirror before he begins boating, unlike this degenerate boater.
Mirrors? Oh, that reminds me. I haven't adjusted this one yet.
Can't see!
that's symbolism for Roger Bumpus.
Yeah, dude.
I pointed that out. It was just like, isn't it ironic that he plays this supposedly good driver in a sense where, but he ends up getting his like shit like kicked out of him, which I guess
maybe Nickelodeon wasn't paying him much.
Foresight, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. What do you
Did he get bailed? I wasn't following the news after like his arrest claim, or not a claim, but his arrest, I guess.
I think the reason why he drank was like he's tired of SpongeBob. And he's like thinking to himself, you know what? I need to drink so much beer, or maybe he's like, it's something that you know, voice actors like do get tired of doing the same thing, you know, voicing the same character over and over, and they want to do more things with it.
I suppose
it happens. Like cartoonists, they want to move on to other projects.
Kenny Tartakovsky, basically.
Yeah.
It's Gazorp.
Hey, I hate my mama nuns days. And I can really go for some enchiladas.
Enchiladas.
Hey, John. Boy, you dumb, stupid, idiot. Come on, Gazorp. Go easy on me, huh? Milk toast, piece of human garbage.
What is milk toast?
So this movie is about Toad's backstory.
Because John is white.
Wait, do you know that that tool that they have in Rick and Morty? I forgot that pointless tool that nobody knows what it does.
What?
You know, in the second episode of, you know, in the second part of TV shows, like, you know.
Oh yeah.
I forget what was it called. You know, the episode where I think his name's Jerry. Yeah, that guy's testicles removed.
Yeah, that'd be the plumbus.
The plumbus. Yeah. What does that freaking do? It just.
Well, we don't know.
That's the joke.
That's a joke.
That reminds me, when I went to Disney World, and Epcot, there was this attraction for Timon and Pumbaa talking about like, hey, you should take care of the earth, and they were talking about the dams, and then Pumbaa was like, damn, and then Timon was like, hey, watch your language.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Damn! Hey, watch your language, Pumbaa.
That was like my sister. She was, instead of saying damn, she's like, what the beaver dam?
It's like, chill out, Cap.
What the beaver dam? That's almost a little, I don't know, whatever.
Fuck.
Move on to
leaving and coming and going. I don't know why people really get angry in reviews like that. Like, I mean, like, I could definitely name quite a few reviewers that kind of go off the rocks in a sense. Like, I mean, I don't know about Mr. Enter recently, but he's been like, his reviews have gotten a little too angry for me.
So, reviews aren't meant to be reviews? Is that what you're saying?
No, basically, like,
yeah,
okay, when you watch a review on the internet, and it's only like, okay, not, I don't know how to word this, but basically reviews on the internet are mostly based on comedy than they are about critiques.
So
if you just criticize a bunch of times, then it wouldn't be as entertaining to listen to.
Right, and like most people,
when
characters they play in reviews are like exaggerated versions of them, and they usually don't hate it as much as they lead on. Is
Mr. Enter playing a character?
It could be argued that Mr. Enter could be playing a character, sure.
Yeah, like there is levels of critique in reviews, just it's mainly based on comedy.
I don't know, like that's all up to preference. Like some people actually like to be like informed on how good or bad something is. Like, especially if you're like a creator, you want to know, like, okay, what's good to do and what's bad to do. So, like, if you like just watch reviews because you want to be entertained, then that's fine. But like, don't forget what like reviews are actually supposed to be.
Right.
Just
You
reviews.
hear that, Derek Savage?
Yeah, I like reviews that actually have critiques instead of someone just making fun of it and at the end being like, "Oh, it was okay."
Hey, do you know that they're selling Plumbuses on eBay?
Yeah, I saw the link.
Oh my god. $59 for a Plumbus.
So, James, how was your day?
It was fine. My day isn't really. I mean, it's half over, so it hasn't been very eventful, but so far, that's good.
Nice. I have a question for you.
What?
What's your favorite sandwich?
Oh my god.
I really like I really like turkey, honey turkey specifically, with like everything on it: lettuce and tomato, vinegar, mayo, just turkey sandwiches, usually on like a roll. Second, I guess, would be peanut butter and jam.
Classic.
Ooh. I do
Garlic
enjoy
sandwich.
some jam from time to time.
The topic today will be favorite sandwiches.
Yeah, you don't know what my name is.
No, I don't.
Otto.
I don't know what my name is.
Otto Octavius.
I'm trying to read through.
Otto Rocket from Rocket Power. Fuck you.
Oh,
yeah.
man. Have you met my sister Reggie? Come on,
Wait,
dude.
am
She's
I-
totally
wait.
about to beef.
I'm your sister.
People have
Yes.
made Rocket Power AMVs.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Of course they
What?
have.
What?
Raddest thing
Power
ever.
AMVs.
Why?
And
know,
my
there's
skin
a-
is crawling.
You know, that's a movie Michael Bay could actually make that would be successful because it's everything
Rocket
he is
Power?
about a bunch of
Rocket
douchebags.
Power the movie? Why hasn't that happened yet?
No.
Besides
Rocket
racing
Power
across New Zealand.
Race to New Zealand.
The only people that would watch it is us.
Yeah.
Unironically. People would actually watch it ironically.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Speaking of Michael Bay, get this. One of my greatest fantasies have happened. He's made a good movie, but it's historically bombed at the box office. I'm like, yes.
What movie?
13 Hours.
Ooh.
Did you see it? You saw it, so you said it was good. So I'm assuming you saw
Oh,
it.
it's good, but, it's payback still.
I
Wait,
saw
wait,
the
wait,
trailer. It just looks like
I don't-
the most generic thing.
I'm really tired of people saying, "Oh, Michael Bay, he only made bad movies." I like Pain and Gain. I don't care what anybody says.
Really? So what about the people who survived the actual assault by the gang members?
They're
Fuck
fine.
them.
I've actually seen that, but I don't know. It seems 13 hours. Looks like how it has the kind of war movie based on real life stories. It kind of reminds me of American Sniper in that sense. I haven't seen it, but I imagine it'd be like an American Sniper clone, just how I've seen trailers and stuff. I liked American Sniper. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was Bay's attempt with this movie.
Mhm.
It's like, well, that old man can make a movie about soldiers sacrificing themselves for their country. I can do something similar.
Except with more explosions and more of that military porn. I need that. Just imagine that they'd be showcasing the greatest and latest of military equipment in that movie, or at least back in 2013.
Yep.
Yep.
That was a movie.
I actually want to see the new Ninja Turtles movie. Actually,
Yeah, because
Hasn't come out yet.
the one that came out in I think it was 2015. I actually really liked that.
2014.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
still, like everyone talks about how awful it was. It wasn't that bad.
it wasn't that bad. It was just kind of like they were expecting.
Right.
Never saw it.
Good.
Like,
I wanna
the
s- I
the
wanna
only
see the
bad
second
part of
one.
it was the designs, and no one could look past how awful the designs were, so they didn't see the movie.
I literally didn't have a problem with it actually. Like it was like okay, so they have updated.
That's the only reason
designs.
why I don't want to watch it, is because of the designs. They
And
look
now
like
get
garbage.
This, like with, this weird thing is now that the crew is now exploiting the fact they bash their directors. Where, get this, when Michael Bay's new team for the Ninja Turtles movie was found out, they were like, "We love this director so much more better than the last guy." It's just like we made 4 different movies. It's like, so now the chain's off of them, so they can talk shit about their director now, who was on it first, Michael Liebsman, the dollar store equivalent of Neil Blomkamp, who is a true genius in my opinion. But the whole idea of that thing was basically to get people on their side saying, yeah, we fucking hated making this movie too, but we're gonna try to make it better, because if not, Paramount's gonna lose their faith in us and they're gonna drop us as a client.
Yeah,
because
Paramount's gonna die. You know, like this is the only movie, like the only blockbuster movie that can actually save them. And if that movie's bad, they're fucked at this point.
Oh.
Are they really under that much?
And yeah, like Bay has an exclusive contract with Paramount. Like, that is the only studio that will hire him. Because Disney fired him for Armageddon. They didn't like what he had to say. He's like, nope. Other studios don't want to work with him. It's just like Paramount's the only thing that's throwing him a bone. And he's completely fucking that up, which is pretty fucking hilarious to see him. Right now, he's 50, so he's at that stage in his life where he's like, well, I should give a shit now. And now he is giving a shit, and it's totally blowing up in his face.
Apparently, Terminator 2 is not being made. They're pulled off of the Paramount schedule.
Oh yes, yes, that is good too.
Wait,
why are they calling it Terminator 2 if there is
Because
Terminator?
it's technically a rebooted franchise, because I don't know, I don't run the studio.
I don't know.
Terminator 2, I don't know, this is a thing. So James, to ask our guest here, what do you think is a terrible, shitty movie that you'd like to talk about?
What do I think is a bad movie?
Yes.
I think a lot of movies are bad.
I mean, one that really irked you, like
you gotta
Stitch
pick
has
one.
a glitch bad.
Frozen.
The only movie
Frozen's
that
a good movie.
the only movie that I ever like had an emotional attachment to was The Last Airbender. If only because like I really enjoyed the show, and it was just amazing to see how much like it failed as a movie, which, you know, looking back, it never should have been made into a movie.
I actually have some news for you, James. Now,
Ooh.
my friends are film buffs, and they were just as obsessed with the movie's failure as most were, so they did research, and they told me this. Do you know the casting was messed up because of one person? I'm like, who? The woman who played Katara. Just like, what? It's like, the reason she was cast to be the female lead to Aang was because her daddy is a studio executive, causing everything to be recast, everything to be rewritten. And he told me this tidbit. The throne room scenes that were in the movie, that was filmed in a high school gym. Look at the ground. You will see the high school stripes.
I mean, the entire theme of The Last Airbender was high school. It had the acting of a high school play. The executive acted like his kid, was in high school.
Was it the movie?
Yeah, the Last Airbender movie.
Yes, The Last Airbender was a movie. The way you were talking about the female actress who played Katara, her dad basically like told her that's like a student's dad telling the gym teacher, "You better give my daughter a perfect score." It just seems like the entire movie was made like a high school production.
Oh yeah, did you know that that Shyamalan didn't really direct the movie? He just produced it. All he did was he gave money, and that's it.
Oh, well.
He wasn't allowed to. He wasn't allowed to actually write the movie or anything. He was.
Yeah, because Arm would probably be like a zombie or something.
Yeah.
That'd be.
Yeah.
It just, I mean,
it
just doesn't work.
It was like, because he fooled me, because I legitimately thought it was directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
It wasn't.
The acting was pretty Shyamalan-esque.
And then at the end, it turns out Aang is actually a firebender.
Sure.
He's not an airbender at all.
And it's just hilarious, like, how much Paramount was, like, fucking up with everything just because this little girl's like, I love that Last Airbender. Can I?
What a bunch of SJWs.
What?
And yet Shyamalan is still defending his movie, not because he likes it, but because he has a contract.
Oh
You
my
ever
God.
No,
wonder why
what
there's
he's
so many
saying,
directors
what he's saying is
specifically-
that
Like they
he's
denounce a
saying-
specific studio when they don't have a contract with them anymore, but they defend a movie because they're still with the studio.
you know, he does defend him. He does say that, like, he does take the route saying that, well, this show was created for 9 to 10-year-olds, and I had the intention that these movies would be watched by the same demographic. So that's why I made it as it is. That's one thing that I've read of what he said about the movie. So, and clearly that's not the case. I mean, there are a lot of. I mean, I watched the show when I was younger, but quite a lot of people, they're young adults and adolescents. They really like Avatar, so that's a real disappointment.
Nickelodeon should have just made an animated movie.
I read the books.
Instead of just a live-action movie replicating season 1. Should have been like after season 3, an animated movie.
Hmm.
I didn't see the movie.
I wouldn't know what
I don't plan on it.
They do have a comic after the 3rd season. It's
Well,
like
the reason
based
why they
on
did that,
finding Zuko's mom.
The reason why they did it because like Avatar was this really big thing, and they were like, well, let's do what another successful director who works for Paramount does with live action material. It can't be, critically loved, but it can be definitely popular and profitable at the box office. So they decided to basically cash in on it because obviously the show was ending. So they weren't going to have that as a ratings booster forever because, let's be honest, Last Airbender was the only reason kids were watching Nickelodeon anymore. Let's be honest. Like, their shows left the building after they canceled My Life as a Teenage Robot.
Yeah.
Wait, was
That was
LG
actually
still
kind
on?
of... That was pretty quiet how they did that. It actually was formally canceled in, like, 2008, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah, not many people realized it was canceled. They were like, oh, it must be on hiatus. Oh, it must be on hiatus.
It just sort of petered out.
It's like, nope, it was at the
that's a
height of
shame.
popularity, so they plucked it from the sky.
Yep.
Isn't that what they did to Korra? They just
Pretty
put it
much.
into a web.
Gave it
They
a
did
sort
that,
of ending.
like, oh yeah, the ending was okay, but I was saying, like, on TV, they sort of pulled it off of air, like, in the middle of the 3rd season, didn't they? That was a little infuriating.
Yeah.
My
Yeah, I
internet
think
didn't
so.
work too well back then. It's just couldn't watch it. But yeah, I'm caught up with it now. It's very, very good.
I haven't seen Korra yet.
Me neither. I haven't seen Korra.
I heard it's good.
I plan
Yeah, it's
on
really
getting the
interesting. It's
Blu-rays,
like-
but
Didn't they cancel it for no reason?
No, they finished it. They just took it off
Yeah.
of there.
yeah, it has an ending apparently.
Yeah, we could, I mean,
It's a pretty short
series. I don't know if you guys want to go more into Korra, but it seems like quite a few of you haven't watched it yet.
I'd rather talk about Avatar because I've actually seen that.
Alright.
Wait, oh, I'm sorry. Did you say Avatar or Return of Jafar? Which is a movie. about a-
No, no one cares about Disney. Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
You're shoehorning your own agenda.
I'm just gonna-
Yeah, it's so. He's having his own podcast right
I
there.
think I'm going crazy. Alright, I'm done.
Pizza Joe's, there's two of you. There's two of you, Pizza Joe's.
One of them is muted, and one of them's not.
Pizza Joe, are you actually gonna talk? This thing is actually an audio podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If there's two of them, that means there'd be twice as much talking from him.
Yeah,
He doesn't usually talk.
not that much.
Season 3 of Avatar is probably the best.
For each one.
I kind of like season 2. I don't know. People ask me why. But it's just like it just sort of expands on the whole mythos of Avatar a lot more. I mean, season 3
where it's like,
has a lot more action and
where
stuff,
it's
but like
those shows where they play on racial stereotypes.
what?
Yeah.
Show fresh off the boat.
Yeah.
No.
I want to watch that. You want to watch the one with the dog?
Season 2 was good because they introduced Toph, and I love Toph.
Radius
And
playoffs. Rachel
sexual
steering.
way.
Ah, so funny.
But yeah, Top's character was really like one of my favorite characters of all time. It seems like there's interest in making another Avatar movie, and if it happens, and if they fuck up Top,
they are making a second one. It's confirmed apparently that they're making a second Avatar movie.
Oh my.
With M. Night Shyamalan, apparently.
Wait, didn't M. Night Shyamalan direct?
Will it be like
didn't Shyamalan direct? Let me see something.
Wait, is the second movie gonna be like a sequel to the first movie, or like a retry at doing a series?
I think it's gonna be a sequel because it's called.
Oh, good.
So probably go through.
Speaking of M. Night Shyamalan, around Halloween, I saw this movie called The Visit, which actually was a really good movie.
What?
Didn't see it.
I can't.
I haven't seen of his recent stuff yet. But
what is that noise?
I don't watch M. Night Shyamalan.
The Haunted Mansion door.
But I did see that episode of Rick and Morty called M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh.
That one's funny.
That's exactly what.
Rick and Morty is really funny. Oh, hey, speaking of Justin Roiland, I guess, you know about his new show that he's making, or possibly making?
On Fox? Yeah,
so,
it's called
Fox.
Family Guy 2.
Yeah, it's called Solar
Border Town.
Family Guy 2 Guy Harder.
So it's it's gonna be called Solar Opposites. I don't know if this is an actual plan thing that he's making because like there's this anyway, so he's leaking technically, I guess. I'm doing air quotes, but you can't hear me.
I'm just looking up.
Alex Hirschman,
not to interrupt
Justin
you. I'm not to
Roiland.
interrupt you or anything, but I'm just looking up him on
You just
Google,
did.
and it says that he created something called House of Cosby's.
Oh no!
Here I go down the slope. Oh, I'm going zip zop zooming the bop.
Wasn't that during his he made quite a few of the YouTube animations, I think. Or was that Justin Roiland or was that someone else?
Yeah.
That's Justin Roiland. House of Cosby's, 2005.
Wait.
I have a choice for two people to leave, like Andrew and Pita.
Okay, let's talk about Canadian cartoons.
Like Scaredy
Like what?
Squirrel.
Total drama at Revenge of the Island.
Undergrads. I love undergrads. Caillou.
Super
Come on. Caillou. Caillou was
My
amazing.
babysitter's a vampire.
You
I
know,
used
it's
to love that
definitely it's interesting that you can see a Canadian style of animation. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but they're all very similar.
Yeah, they all look the
Canadian
same.
shows.
That's what I'm saying.
The shows are animated quite. I mean, like even their like character designs look very similar to each other from different shows. Which I think that's kind of funny.
Because most of them are made by Fresh TV, and Fresh TV
Right,
is
same company.
Yeah, it's cheap as crap.
Yeah, a lot of those Flash animations. I mean, Canadian. I mean, I don't mind these shows. I used to watch Total Drama when it first came out.
And Animals, Naked Animals.
Let's talk about.
no.
Let's talk about that show that people. Scaredy Squirrel. What is it like? Is it
I've
Scaredy
never-
Squirrel or Scaredy?
Never.
People
Don't
get
talk
confused
about
with
it. It's horrible.
Scaredy Squirrel and whatever that show was, Secret Squirrel. That's what people always get mixed up with.
What's Secret Squirrel?
It's the
Squirrel.
Secret Agent Squirrel, you know?
You don't know what that is? It was also featured in Two Stupid Dogs.
Yeah. And also, it's an old cartoon. It's really old.
I want to see more of Two Stupid Dogs. I love that show growing up.
That's a great show.
Yeah, it was okay.
I liked it better than the original Hanna-Barbera versions.
What about Martin Mystery?
Oh, that's good. No, that's French.
It's Canadian.
No, it's
Canadian.
French.
French Canadian.
French Canadian. Reginald left. Okay.
Oh man.
So what else? What other Hanna-Barbera shows did you guys like?
The best person on the podcast left. Rip in peace.
That's yeah. Anyway, wait, what'd you say, Bruce?
Wait, so is there any other Hanna-Barbera shows that you guys like?
Johnny Bravo.
I like Johnny Bravo.
Cow and Chicken. There was an episode
don't
of
like
Cow and
Johnny
Chicken.
Bravo that much.
Cow and Chicken. I remember as a kid, I watched this episode where Cow gets braces, and that scared me. And now I have braces, and I can relate.
Wow.
What about the one where Chicken goes to prison?
Oh, what about the pilot episode where Chicken goes to hell?
Cigarette, chicken?
Hey, sure. Don't take it. It's not the right thing to do. And Mom says to stay away from big naked guys.
Back off!
I'm a big chicken. Think I'm a little chicken?
No, I'm big. Gotcha!
Go! Go! Go!
Because
What about wait? What about the episode where the boys wonder what's inside the girls' bathroom? Remember that one?
Wait, didn't Dexter's Laboratory have the same premise?
What do you mean?
Because they had that, I think, and it was like about the girls' restroom. Like they had that.
I'm pretty sure they had one of those.
I know there was an episode where Dexter tries to sneak into a slumber party from her sister. Pretty much, it's like a fake documentary of like natives. It was great. It's hard to explain, but it was offensively hilarious.
That's the best kind of comedy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just looking at Two Stupid Dogs on Google, and you know what really pissed me off?
Yeah, this whole podcast is gonna be silent.
The 2 episodes about the Little Red Riding Hood girl, I fucking hated her.
Everybody hates her.
Go review Rocket Power. Fuck it.
No.
Oh no.
I'm talking to
If
Otto.
you're gonna
I'm talking-
act this way, Disco.
Oh,
you can leave.
Rocket Power is up soon.
I don't know. I have a weird love-hate relationship with Two Stupid Dogs.
You hate that show?
It's okay.
No, it's a
You
good
love
show.
it.
I like the cameo that happened in Samurai Jack. That was funny.
That was the first episode.
You know
It
what's
was
funny about Two
second
Stupid
episode.
Dogs? You know what's funny about Two Stupid Dogs? That the dogs are literally named Little Dog and Big Dog.
And that's a rip off of Ren and Stimpy.
Oh.
It's not Ren and Stimpy because there's no cat.
Still,
There's that
same
Disney show that
formula.
did- there's that one Disney show that wanted to be-
stupid animals.
There's that one Disney show that I remember that.
Oh,
decided to be
Mr.
a lead in like.
Oh, I remember that.
But
I don't
wait,
remember
what
the
was
name
it?
of the show.
It was Schnookums
I
and
know what you're
Meat.
talking
Yeah.
about, but
I forget what it's called.
Schnookums and Meat was
Yeah, Schnookums and Meat.
Fuck that shit.
Better, not as good as Bunkers or whatever.
Not as good as Fish Hooks.
Oh, I used to watch that show unironically.
dude, I used to
Guys.
love that.
Guys,
I used to
I will.
like it.
I want you guys to look at this thing.
Oh no! Fuck that.
This
Okay.
is from the episode when Ren gets new pecs or something like that.
Yeah, he gets like a giant pecs, and he's like in this gift set he's squishing sand together with his big breasts. And the description says Miley Cyrus is teaming up with the creator of Ren and Stimpy for her.
So hey James, okay,
Yes.
so I was on your DD Nerd Day a couple days ago. So I realized, I noticed that your old art, it's all gone.
Yeah. Well,
like, is there like a? I saw your new post.
what are you
about-
asking?
I was just asking if there was a reason, if the why you if there's like a, did you like? I guess DeviantArt doesn't work like privatizing. I guess I mean not yeah. So you just
Are you
deleted
asking
all your art
why I deleted like everything except like middle grade?
Right.
Well,
Yeah, essentially,
I realized that like my past work doesn't really reflect what I want to do. So and since this is the internet and the internet has such a short attention span, like yeah, people will care about something like one day, but then the next day they'll move on to something else. I figured, well, like I should probably move on as well. Like I have a lot of ideas that I want to create. Yeah, they're not done yet. They're not created yet, but they're going to be. But in the meantime, I do want to look to the future and encourage like other people to look to the future and not so much to the past. So I just wanted to, I don't know, start a clean slate. Like, sure, there, like, odds are there will be people who will like re-upload my past work somewhere else, like either because they enjoyed it or because like they hated it and they want to make me look bad. But like, for my primary channel, not channel, my primary DeviantArt, I want to sort of. Me deleting everything is my way of moving on.
People also do like cringe compilations of like other people, like, you know, Chris Chan. Or, I want to say that it's fine if you want to do that. It's perfectly fine. But if you're doing this to ruin their lives, I wouldn't
Whose
recommend
lives?
it. It's like anybody.
I've seen some.
How would I be ruining anyone's life?
No, I'm talking about like people who make like cringe compilations, say like, "Hey, look at this person, haha, it's funny."
Usually at that point, it's been in public. Like a lot of their actions have been sort of
like a lot of
I guess, memed enough.
Like I don't know, I don't know like how well you guys like know me, but like I do a lot of cringeworthy things. Like I do a lot of cringeworthy art, and you know, a lot of it is out there. Like a lot of it like is geared towards a specific community. But since like the internet is like such a negative place where like people want to people are looking for things to hate, and people don't like it when things are different from what they're used to. Like that's why everybody like is making I hate furry videos or I hate brony videos and stuff like that. Instead of just like letting people do their own thing and not really bothering them. You know, people making like cringe compilations, that's only going to ruin someone's life if that person allows it to ruin their life. But you know, and I'm pretty sure that there are cringe compilations of like stuff that I've made, but I'm not letting it ruin my life, because like I have a life outside of the internet, and it's not, and I realize that it's not very important. Like the internet isn't very important. Again, the internet has the attention span of a squirrel. It's, you know, one day they'll be focused on one thing, whether it's negative focus or positive focus, and then the next day, who really cares? Honestly.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons why quite a lot of people give you a lot of flack, I guess, is that you appeal to a very fringe community, and I guess you're probably one of the most popular people in terms of people knowing you the most. Or that's what popularity is, I guess. But like you appeal to this community that very, I guess, is like very on the fringe, I'll say. So I guess people give you very just. Yeah, a lot lot of bunk about it, definitely.
Well, yeah.
And I can see that.
But honestly, like
kind of philosophy there.
But honestly, like I see it as like me, like what I'm doing is bothering them, but why should I let it bother me?
Sure.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah, because like whenever there's something cringe, like what most people find cringe, there's always like a small community that enjoys it.
Oh yeah, exactly. And not to mention like the people that like make cringe compilation, like trolls in general, people who hate other people on the internet. You know, their time is being wasted. So, you know, paying attention to it is a waste of your time, especially if you have like an artistic skill that you could be utilizing to actually make like art and like, you know, improve your craft, instead of focusing on these people who don't really have any skill or talent, and they're just like hating on other people to feel better about themselves.
Yeah. Actually, that brings to another thing about people that need to make their own content. That goes into the thing about reaction people that react to other people's content. And,
sure.
It's like people are making like fun of, like, you know, Blasphemous HD and like Jinx Reload or what else? Rashad the Reactionist. It's because they're because they seem like they're actually like maybe like behind closed doors are actually good people to hang out with. But on film, kind of angry at people because if you've seen that one video by JC says, well, if well, why can't people tell me when what and what not to react to? And
that's not their responsibility to do that. Like, he's saying basically they should ask him permission if he can't do their videos when they made the videos, and he should be asking permission.
Notice how none of these reaction videos get hate, whereas the type you guys make get so much hate, and rightfully so, right? I think. Right, the reason for this is because you're just sitting there watching a video and going, shit, damn, what the fuck? That's not an entertaining reaction, right? Your videos do show your reactions, but they're fucking shit. People are watching your videos, watching that good content in the corner. They're not watching your fucking reactions, mate.
I mean, they're just reaction videos. It's not like he's re-editing them to, I don't know, make a fool out of the creator of the video.
Yeah.
But I guess the main problem is that it is on the fact that I guess they're using the content of the I guess the content that they're reacting to is completely just unedited, and usually their reactions, what I've seen, are very, I guess,
bland,
absent. There's no reaction, so it's essentially just watching the video on their video.
Yeah,
and they get the money from it.
And
So
it's like on a logical statement, pretty much that that when people watch reaction videos, they're just looking at the video itself. They're not looking at the reaction.
Yeah, quite often the actual reactor, they're just kind of silent throughout the whole thing. Sometimes they like laugh. They don't actually have any commentary over the video.
Well, there are different types of reactors. There are like very rarely will you find a reactor that is like genuinely like humorous or entertaining.
Yeah.
It's usually I don't know, like I found different kinds of reactors. There are the people who feel the need to enforce their opinion like in the middle of the video, which completely distracts from like the rest of the video. Like if something is brought up, they'll be like, oh, I think this about that, and then they'll completely miss like 30 seconds of the video. And then there are the people who, like you said, are very silent. Like maybe they smile or like frown or make a facial expression, but for the most part they don't really have much to add. And then at the end of the video, they're like, I like that. I was like, okay, I really couldn't tell by judging by your reaction. Yeah, again, there are different types of reactors, and like the ones that are like entertaining are usually the ones that like prosper, but the ones that like just they just spam reaction videos, usually they don't get very far.
That there are like a few handful of people that are actually like decent. Like I'm gonna bring up like H3 Productions and Chatronic, that they actually put editing and they actually cut it up so it seems interesting, that they say something that's meaningful instead of just sitting there.
So
just,
I guess it's
they with their little
genuinely
webcam.
Yeah, I have to ask something.
People should go back to making like video responses kind of thing, even though they've took down that feature like years
Oh
ago.
yeah, I missed
Because,
that.
like,
I remember
because
that.
they because you have to actually watch the video first then.
Yeah, it's more approachable, you know, like than just posting a comment, because you know there are people who just hate reading comments, and you know.
But there are with the video reactions, I guess the video comments are.
I do have to ask about cringe, because you know there are certain people who have problems, you know, that they don't tend to want to, you know, they don't tend to want to move on because they have this addiction that, you know, other people, they tend to try to help them out, but they just, you know, you can't really help them. They're kind of.
What are you talking about exactly?
Like
my strange reaction or my strange addiction.
No, like Chris Chan or other people.
Well, those kind of people have like serious mental problems, you know.
There's just forces outside that prevent them from getting or from seeking help. I know that Chris Chan currently is living with his mother, and his mother at this point.
No. He's I've heard he's actually getting help. There's like some people who are like obsessed with him, which I can't really say who is worse? People who have this obsession with him following his life, or himself recording and
He's a very fascinating case study. I'll say that. But
Yeah, he's
but,
interesting and nothing more.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you have to like record him and follow him whenever you see him walking by. I'm like,
oh yeah, that's
that's kind of like
complete invasion of privacy.
Well, again,
it almost is.
Well, again, that leads into the cruelty and negative nature of the internet culture that I like try to ignore, but it does occasionally like rear its ugly head.
Mm. And I hate when YouTube YouTube personalities are not treated like people. Like the channel
that doesn't
Drama
really
Alert,
surprise me.
Yeah, like
Once
the channel
you become-
Drama Alert, everyone's been supporting that and saying it helps.
Like, if you don't know the person personally, then like it's you're just gonna know them for what they make.
Yeah.
And you're gonna react as such.
There's definitely an idolizing.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right, but when there's channels like Drama Alert, which are going into YouTubers' personal lives to get views on their videos,
yeah,
it's like the YouTube equivalent of TMZ. It sucks.
It really is an invasion of privacy. I've never seen their videos, so I don't know how in depth they go. But
yeah, actually, there's a thing with Keemstar, the guy, where you can. It's not like like shown in the actual Drama Alert videos, but there is a video of like a highlights thing where it's a 60-year-old streamer on Twitch, and then you can see that Keemstar, he just absolutely just makes fun of him, and he's just. And so there's sides of people, like, you can't just just say, oh yeah, people have good content because I've seen what you can't just define what they are just because of their like what they actually show on their channel, on their footage. You have to see what their actual personality is to actually like enjoy them.
Yeah. Sometimes the internet, I honestly do admit it's awful, really.
Yeah.
It's awful, really. It's like you just have like this thing where you just keep going and you just miss human interaction. It ruins your lives. I mean, it does really. People there's people like going on smartphones, keep going on their internet, and
that's why like as hard as it is, I encourage, like, if you choose to become a parent, keep the internet away from your kid until they're like a teenager, because by then they like, if you keep the internet from them all throughout childhood, all throughout middle school, just let them educate themselves via like actual like real world experiences and like, I don't know, books, I guess, then that will help them prepare for the internet, and they'll be smart enough to not completely lose their minds on the internet.
Yeah, I was
it's also
basically
safe to
raised
say
on the
that by the time we become parents, I'm assuming everyone here is between the teens and early 20s around. So yeah, but
there's
like we become parents. The internet is the internet culture, just how the internet works in general is definitely gonna change. But I see what you mean by your statement, James. Like now, definitely, I can see maybe not necessarily taking the internet away from children in general, but just like limiting.
Not taking it away from them. That implies that they had it in the first place. Like, you leave your kid without the internet for a while, then when they say, "Hey, this is the internet."
I guess.
Like, because like the way I was raised, like my parents were very busy, so they they gave me television, they gave me the internet, and I don't know, like I sort of like abandoned life and like educating myself for like using the internet, and as such, I grew up with the completely wrong mindset that I was supposed to have, and inevitably I became like internet famous, and that mindset proved to be very inappropriate for the type of person I was on YouTube. So I had to completely adjust my personality like at like 20 years old, but like that could have been avoided if my parents like And I don't blame them because like they had a lot to deal with, but there's a lot of factors to it. It's not something you can really help. All you can really do is like educate yourself and have morality and just sort of spread that instead of spreading the hatred that the internet encourages you to jump onto.
I'd say that people's experiences online are different to another. I mean, as I say, experiences are subjective to an individual.
Yeah,
so
the internet is like a double-edged sword. It's like there are people who just, it's kind of like a random kind of. It's hard to really explain, but there are like groups of people who disagree and agree, or they're just out of their mind, or there are people who are like, they're just basically don't take the internet seriously, or those who do. I don't take the internet that seriously, but there are times where I have to. There are times where I like.
Yeah. Oh, like what? Like when?
There are like
Phoenix.
Yeah, like Joe. Well, Joe Phoenix. He basically he was.
That's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah, it turns out he was just trolling, and at first I took him seriously because I thought he was like, being a fucking. He was like. I thought he was like sexually harassing someone online, like sending his nudes or something.
Mm-hmm.
But turns out he told me that he found a video because he was involved with a group of kids trolling people, going online, downloading porn and like sending it to multiple people, and that's why he tended to stay away from it because he doesn't want that kind of backlash with him, And
right, and that's one of the reasons
it sounds
why.
like you wanted to get involved with something that was like mostly none of your business.
Yeah. Which I mean, that's what Bruce told me that was him, but turns out the guy on the video wasn't him; it was someone else. But he didn't know who it was, though.
Yeah, he basically just lied to me, saying that like he was on this podcast before, before we like kicked him out. He was the person that like he never told me he was part of this group. He just said it was just him. But then I just found out I'm gonna say their names right now. James. The people, the Bedhead Bernie, Treasure Cat, and Dapping Dots. They're the people that found he's actually this one person that he was originally he was like this troll on Tumblr, and so he just this person became like universally hated, and we kicked him off of our podcast, and now he just living, and now people are still hating on him.
Yeah, I admit I thought like he was sexually harassing someone online, like this person who was like 20 years old, and there's like this 20-year-old woman, like she does art, and I thought like he recorded himself masturbating and sending that to that one person. And I immediately thought he was, but turns out it wasn't him, it was someone else. Or I think I presume it could be someone else he knows that did that, and that's why he's tend to stay away from it. I mean, regardless, that's actually illegal, and not to mention most of his friends. Yeah, most of his friends are like in middle school, and that's pretty fucking
basically
illegal.
They're irresponsible in the way that they've interacted with people online, and it had consequences. So anyway, so that's just a whole other can of worms. I don't want to go into
in a way. What I'm trying to say is like you have to look back and say like, why did this cause me to get this kind of backlash? Like, why did this cause me to get to that? Like, I have to look back and see where I messed up, and then move on to that.
Sure.
That's you got what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I get it. And like people are entitled to make like young, stupid mistakes on the internet, no matter what those mistakes are, because you're young and stupid. Maybe you were like a bunch of factors could be like the reason for that kind of motivation. Like no matter what you do, like on the internet, just make sure there's no real victim. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Definitely.
Ultimately, if you end up doing something online that is I guess tarnishes your image, then it ends up having consequences on your part.
Well, not even talking about tarnishing your image. Like my image has been tarnished over and over again, but again, I don't let it bother me. I intentionally wanted like my image to like be sort of tarnished because honestly it helped me grow as a person. It like because for the longest time I had this like perfect image that I wanted to like prop up and make a reality, like, and over time, it just kept like that perfect image just kept getting more and more damaged, and eventually it was just destroyed. And now, like but it's because I had that perfect image, which is the reason why I was sort of a horrible, selfish, egocentric, hypocritical person. And now I'm better because of that. And honestly, like it's not like I like did any permanent damage to it. I mean, like, what's the worst thing I did? Like, I upset some people, maybe disgusted some people, outraged. That's all emotional. It's not really physical. It's not really concrete, and it's not really set in stone. So while some people might say like, yeah, your reputation is over, I'd say like I'm not here for my reputation. Like I'm on the internet to entertain. Like and as long as I can do that, then who really cares about like what other people like? Because your image is just like what other people think of you, and once you remove that, then you're freer. You're more free, and you're a better person.
I have to bring this up, and I'm just gonna say this. There are people who are e-famous because they want to do what they want to do, but there are some people, and I have went into this one drama, like everybody else jumped on this, like with me. I'm gonna say this. Do you know a guy by the name of Super Psy Guy?
I don't. Oh wait, yes I do. Yes I do.
He actually wanted to do this because he wanted to get famous, but turns out because he has evidence against him.
Evidence of, like, what?
Yeah. Like, because he sexually harassed people online. Like,
okay.
And also because he made that shitty post on Tumblr, which he says, like, he wanted to do this just because he wants to get famous and he didn't know, and then he keeps on saying that the people who accused him of those awful things were lying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to him, which is, like, fucking disgusting, man. Why?
Whenever like sexual harassment is involved, I'm like, okay, how serious was it?
Like, I think he was like bothering them and also forcing them to send pictures. I think I don't really remember much of it, but I think that's what happened.
Okay, I see. Well,
yeah, and he kind of basically also said that he wanted to do this because he wanted to get famous online and he wants to make money online. Which
that's a motivation that I used to have as well. So
yeah.
And I eventually grew out of that, but I don't like judge like Super Psy Guy because of that. It's like, honestly, I'm more worried about like the sexual harassment.
What he does. Yeah, exactly.
But I'd love to hear his side of the story if he has a side.
Love you like a rat, shoot you like a respect you like a fumes. Love you like a rat, shoot you like a respect you like a fumes. Love you like a rat, shoot you like a joke.
Like the reason why I actually like doing because I've got a lot of like like annoying like garbage. But I like the creative process. I like to edit. I like to draw. So I don't know why people are just saying like, oh, I want to do it for the money. Like I just like I just like doing like being on this podcast with everybody here. Everybody's like so friendly here. Everybody
Sure.
has like a good approach.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like making content for everyone.
Yeah, I want to make content because I just get bored online, and I mostly don't want to like focus on voice acting as as a full-time kind of thing on YouTube, because I mean I don't want to even make money off of YouTube, to be honest. I mean, me, I want to go to college and study. That's what I want to do. But I mean, YouTube, sure, it helps out, but I don't want to be like making money off of it to the point where I have to financially, actually use the internet for financial purposes, which, that would be hard to manage. I mean, sure, there are some people who had to leave their jobs because of YouTube, because they were so passionate about it, and because, they don't want to leave their people, and they have, they have the finance to do it. Like, I think his name was like the gaming historian. Yeah. Well, at the point where he was going to get into a job, the people who looked at his YouTube videos, they said that, you know what, it's either you make money off of YouTube or you work with us. And he basically said that he wants to make money on the internet because, he has a growing fan base, and, he can pretty much manage it.
Well, success is a huge motivator for.
But there are people like McJuggernuggets, which I don't think. Oh man, he's like one of those people who think it's pretty much easy to make a living on the internet than growing a pair of balls and getting a job and managing
But he
YouTube.
does have a job. It's YouTube.
Yeah,
don't destroy my games, dude.
Yeah. But it's just like, why would you just think that YouTube is a job? It doesn't really pay as much. You won't be able to like actually manage food or electricity or paying bills, which I mean, and economically living by yourself through YouTube is it's not enough.
To be honest,
it's enough
that
for me.
YouTube.
There's a point where it becomes, when you have enough what's called views, or when you monetize your videos, you have enough advertising can sustain an individual, but I can't see it for like a family. If someone runs it for a family, I mean, maybe like if you become like as
make YouTube
popular as
videos,
retards.
Yeah.
Always in the sake of the internet. For, like, since the past 20 years, since the internet was like actually a thing, that certain websites come and go, and I'm pretty sure that's what YouTube's gonna be in a few years, because you've seen the whole controversy with H3 Productions, and I hate everything, and how they're just treated so badly, and how they're as an individual like channel, but then like they look at these channels like the Fine Brothers and the the Smosh, for example, and
those are people who capitalize on YouTube. That's what they do. They're companies who, well, Smosh, that's entirely different, because they first started out as people doing sketch videos, and now they're running a company.
I think it's a whole quantity versus quality approach. I mean, when you don't have enough views, and all, by the end of the day, you won't get as much money as the other person who has millions and millions of views on one video, even if it's completely vapid. It kind of goes with saying that since working on YouTube or working online to make videos is such a new occupation, it's just, you don't really know how to go around the paying people accordingly. So
yeah.
I don't know if you guys want to comment on that.
So also Pizza Joe just mentioned animation on YouTube. Animation on YouTube
is really hard. It's really hard, especially like financially. There are people who do tend to struggle through that, and they just can't pump up videos every single day like all these other channels. They have to spend time making one video and one video only, and then putting it out. Which animation, because I never went in it, I'm only voice acting, and I want to get more. I don't want to get like more in it, but I do want to do it for fun. But animation does take forever, and look at like people like I think you know Pika Petey, right?
Oh
James?
yeah, he's a good friend.
Yeah, he takes forever to sort of do these animations. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I can see. I mean, quality that they make is forever. Like,
I mean,
it's
if you're going
monthly or
into
yearly.
animation, you can't really care about like the views or the money
Yeah.
that you earn. You have to care more about the product that you make. Because but you know, just to put it out there, there are like specific animations that the specific types of animations that do get more exposure. There are the types that are extremely fluid, like no matter what it's about, it's extremely fluid, and like they clearly put a crap ton of time and effort into it, and it just looks like Disney. And those animations, you know, no matter what they're about, they usually get like a lot of exposure. Then there are the types that are like catered to a fandom, and depending on how big that fandom is, that's how like big the view count will be.
Fan base they would eat anything up. Honestly, they would eat anything up. Look at the Sonic fan base.
Oh yeah, I know.
They would eat anything
Trust me,
up.
I know how much the Sonic fan base loves to.
You tend to.
If anyone knows about that, they'd be in the movie.
I don't really like Sonic anymore. I used to like Sonic, but that was like, I don't know, probably when I was
It's very
like,
hard to keep liking Sonic, isn't it?
Yeah. But then I have a friend who like who's like stopped playing Sonic since Generations. I'm like, and he keeps telling me, oh, you know what? Photoshop this. Please Photoshop Sonic his goggles. I want him with his goggles. You know, I want to see what it looks like. I'm like, dude, I don't want to do it. And I did it, but it looks horrible.
The thing about the Sonic fan base is most of the major Sonic fans, like, that are obsessed with Sonic, don't even like him because of the games. It might just because, like, of the character, the design, but most of them just don't even like the games.
Yeah, they just tend to not actually be fans. They just like him for his look.
Right,
because Sonic has a great personality for.
Ask anybody about Sonic. They usually they don't even talk about the video games, like even the Genesis ones or like even the cartoons, like especially with Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. They seem to and also a lot of the you know, except for, you know, shows like I guess Sonic Side AM, that they tend to say, no, this doesn't cater to Sonic. It's not like Sonic. This is not the Sonic that I like.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like the Sonic Boom franchise has a fan base of its own. Like all the time on Tumblr, I see like fan art, like hilarious comics, stuff like that. So, and if you watched Sonic Boom, the TV show, like it's pretty funny, and like the characters are definitely defined enough to like warrant, you know, a type of following.
I think all the characters are. I mean, they really changed the personalities of different characters. Sonic is a lot more cynical, like for example. But
oh, no.
Maybe it's.
I just realized I was wearing my Sonic shirt today. Oh crap!
It just like I guess it can't really compare to other of the earlier shows, like Sonic X, for example. That's
yeah, Sonic X.
Oh no, that was horrible.
Oh no, I don't mean like I mean this as a joke.
Sonic X equals everybody hates Chris.
Sonic.
Oh yeah.
Sonic. The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I've seen it. When I was little, I thought it was okay, but I remember last Christmas I was looking at some crappy Christmas specials out of boredom, and I decided to watch the entire last episode of the Sonic Christmas special. Yeah, out of boredom. And it is the most dumbest thing I've seen in my life. No lie, no competition.
What Christmas special?
Sonic Christmas Blast. That was horrible.
Oh.
Like, do you want to know how horrible it was? Because Sonic gets this ring, he has the ability to run fast now, made up bullshit, no relating to the video games whatsoever.
Now I could run faster than I already can. Haha.
You could save Christmas, your Sonic Claus.
Robot Nicholas! Oh wait.
Oh
no, don't talk crap about Robot Nicholas. That's the best one. That's actually the best out of this entire special. Rat penises. I don't get why. Who thought it would be a good idea to record him saying penises?
What?
That's worse than robotics making like that's worse than the penis joke from the YouTube poop community.
Snooping as usual. I see.
Oh, that's another thing with the YouTube poop. That it seems like to me that YouTube poop is dying at this point.
No,
Because,
it's dead. It's dead. It's dead.
It's basically dead because people like Cartoon Lover 98. He's worked on and he's done with animation. He says, he said on Twitter that the more that people want him to do more YouTube poops, the less he wants to do those YouTube poops. Same with CS188. He's gone. What else? Mombro Studios is gone. So also Stuart K. Riley, he stopped the YouTube poop news because he also really thinks that YouTube poop is actually dead. Because everybody is not because copyright on YouTube is really poor.
It's more strict than it already is. Back in like 2008, YouTube didn't have the entire policy. Back when I first discovered YouTube, I usually look at Pokemon videos, but then when I got my computer, I realized about YouTube moves. And I mean, at the time, years later, I discovered MLP, but then I grew out of that. Honestly, I don't call myself a brony anymore. I don't. Because, the fan base... Honestly, the fan base is it's just gone...
What?
Downhill to me. I don't know. I'm just completely turned off by it.
You'll get that way with any fan base eventually. Like, every fan base has its people who are going to bring it down.
Yeah.
And I think like that's not so much a bad thing. It's to me it encourages people to be more individualistic and make their own original content, I guess.
The fan base is almost kind of have a hive mind of itself. Like, I can definitely see it in, like...
Again, that's every fan base.
Yeah. Steven Universe fan base is mostly...
No, Steven Universe, we will not talk about it.
Oh.
Tumblr is really, really bad with that. Have you read this one report of this one artist who draws, I think I remember her drawing MLP, as humans, like that one art, I think, because they drew Fluttershy as an Indian and as Twilight Sparkles as African American or she got harassed by people on Tumblr and social justice warriors.
To suicide.
Yeah, she got harassed and bullied to the point where she almost commits suicide. No joke. Yeah. I mean,
actually, I told James about this before the podcast.
She wants to draw something. Why is it considered offensive? If it's only offensive to you guys if I'd like to draw that, but there's no reason because if I look at what you're saying to me is considered offensive, why should I not continue drawing it? Is it really illegal to do? Is it really problematic?
No, it's not illegal.
It's not.
No, it's not illegal, but no one really cares. Like we're not going to change the nature of the internet. It shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Just do what you like to do on the internet, whatever that is.
Yeah, people criticize me because I'm tired of this. Where people say, Bruce, you're this and this ripoff. You're I don't want to mention any names, but people are saying oh, you're Bruce. Stop trying to be this and this and this and this and this and this. You're trying to be you're trying to be offensive and boring.
That's
more of a criticism.
It's more of a problem for people who started the YouTube career, I should say. That they find things that you can compare someone to, and they'll use that to say, "Hey, we already have a better version of what you're becoming or what you're trying to become." In a sense where they're not really giving you a chance to individualize yourself. So
Yeah.
People
criticism is
tend
natural.
to, criticism, like criticism is more like they want you to make up something and build on it, while people who bully you, people who don't give you any criticisms or points, that's something entirely different than criticism, because that's more like you're attacking me for nothing, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So that reminds me. There's a difference between harass criticism, because in my earlier videos they were not that very good, like the Major Laser, like actually let me see what videos that actually was, like those early like actually also the Hey Arnold video, that those had a lot of like technical like problems, and people actually in the comments would actually give me honest criticism on actually what I would do, and I've actually worked on that, and I feel my reviews now are better than the earlier ones, because I try to build on the foundation, my original foundation, and then I try to add something new and like refreshing to it.
Sure.
I'm just really tired of people saying that like Bruce, you shouldn't do this. Like you're like we've already got like these people like here to do this.
I mean, if you want to do it, then do it. Don't fucking let them bring you down.
As the wise Shia LaBeouf says.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a few months ago when the Gumball thing happened, he's not on this podcast anymore. But his members of his other podcast, what was it called? It was the Rebels podcast. It was the Rebels podcast. They kept harassing me to the point where they said, "Oh, Bruce, your content is terrible," because they originally had that person on that podcast, and they were like, "Hey, why is this Brucesnoop why is he having you on this podcast?" And they don't really give me a chance. They actually don't see my content. They just say, like, "Oh, this person has like a podcast and it features you in it. That's what we should be." So, and that was like such a and then it was a huge conversation between us and the that Rebels podcast on a Skype thing, and they were just saying that and they tried to have like publicity, to piss me off, but there's no point. Like you're like all you're doing is just like messing with yourself. Actually.
Yeah. I mean, the world isn't really all sunshines and rainbows. You're gonna have you can't really please everybody.
Yeah.
And
that's do you have people, because like I assume you're passionate about reviewing, do you have people that you trust to like give you legitimate criticism?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
like
then...
these member on the podcast, they give me great criticism actually.
Okay, then,
like what I should work on.
And like all of you guys, if he makes a completely horrible, shitty review, you will absolutely let him know, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, so don't worry about what strangers say.
That's one thing that with the DeviantArt community I'm mostly on. A lot of people I like to say they'd be a little too nice, I guess. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, your art's fantastic."
No, those guys are just those guys who say that. Oh no, we're like who aren't really like
It goes the other way around too, as I say. There's people who give you backlash, and then there's people who just praise you a lot, and that doesn't allow you to grow as an artist or as anything you want to be passionate about.
Yeah.
So,
it encourages grandiosity, which is why like if you begin making any kind of art or any kind of entertainment, you got to have good taste to begin with.
Right.
Like who are some of your Bruce? Who are some of your favorite reviewers?
Do you think I should cut this out? But I'm a big fan of like people like Rebel Taxi, also Pie Guy Rules, and Paleo Steno and Jim Gizrio. I'm a big fan of those reviewers.
Didn't you say that I didn't want you to talk about Pan, because I don't mind.
No, I used to like Pan, but oh my god, why the hell did I?
Okay, well then you obviously have good taste. So
yeah, but I grew to like other reviewers like Demolition D and DX Fan, and I also
and I just don't like I also don't like the those people. I actually like people like H3 and iDubbbz and all those other people that provide interesting content. Like I just don't look for like people that are like they're always trying to be funny. Like the guy Filthy Frank. I'm always interested in the actual real guy George Miller, because there's two sides of him that he's the Filthy Frank side and the real side of him that I really don't like when I found him like his stuff, I don't like I see what he's trying to do. I see he's trying to make content, but people are like saying that like this is just like a troll. He's just trying to be stupid. Like he's trying to ruin his life, and just like you see that he has a real life. And I just don't like those kind of people that say like
Trolls,
Filthy Frank is
yeah.
just trying to be like Filthy Frank is just trying to be this like like you see like we've seen like little things like that, like the Joji vlogs, the he re-uploaded it to his channel, so it seems like he's trying to do something with with his real passion, besides just not Filthy Frank.
It's a very interesting property he has. Like, I've heard a lot of people describe him as an anti-vlogger, being completely the opposite personality as what he actually is, to just showcase the most, like, what he thinks is the worst person you can be.
Yeah. But I just hate how people would always say, "Oh, you need to be this and this to acquire my tastes."
It doesn't matter what their tastes are, as long as your tastes are, as long as you're making videos that you like, then if people don't like your videos, then you don't have to watch them.
Yeah, I don't tend to take trolls seriously. I honestly sometimes I just look at a troll and I sometimes laugh at that. You don't really need to take them seriously.
How long is this podcast?
Yeah, I was gonna say how long are you thinking?
I have no idea. Maybe like around 3:30 in my opinion, because that seems like a.
It's 3:19 where I'm at.
Sure, that works.
This podcast got really real.
Yeah.
Actually, in case of podcast tradition, we gotta maybe make things a little more lighthearted.
I saw you from a festival, and I am not of Spanish descent. I fucked up so they speak the way I talk.
Like at this point, because
we talk about Taco Bell and how shitty their menu is, because it has good food, but I really hate the pictures and how weird the menu looks. Like, really, that confused me at first.
Talk about this?
Taco Bell, yeah.
Okay, I've looked into this. There are only 4 Taco Bells in the whole of the UK.
Really?
Wow.
You gotta hunt all of them down.
Wait, okay, guys. There's
another reason why the UK is better.
Yeah.
Wait, there's actually guys, if you know this donut place called Mr. Donut. There's well, there used to be an like operation in the U.S., but now they're only like their operation is in Japan and El Salvador, where I'm from.
Their chain has moved eastward. There's
a seafood place. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so like Mr. Donut, I think it was pretty popular in the U.S. before, wasn't it? As far as I was told. Yeah, so. I think it's kind of interesting how franchises sort of shift in that sort of sense. Where
Radio Shack, because there's a lot of
There's a lot of Radio Shacks in Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Or
dude, when I went to Panama like last summer, I found a Radio Shack in the mall, like in a Panamanian mall.
They are expensive back there in Central America. Oh my god.
There's still a Radio Shack over in my mall in my town. So,
speaking of which, there was this seafood restaurant that I used to go to with my parents when I was like, I think about 5 or 6 years old, and like I really want to go back there with my dad, but it's called Cammy's, and it's really good. But I remember they used to have like shrimp pasta, and they always have like breadstick. It's kind of like Red Lobster, but better. But I miss it. You know? I really miss it.
There was a chain like that over in LA a while ago, or not? It wasn't a chain. It was a restaurant. I completely forgot the name because it was shut down.
It could be Cammy's.
But
it could be Cammy's.
It's not Cammy's. It's their specialties red snapper, and it was very good.
Seafood is so good.
Yeah,
seafood.
I love seafood.
I can't believe I couldn't stop eating seafood for 4 to 5 days. No joke. My dad, he was like taking me, you know, he's like cooking seafood. I mean, we went to some seafood restaurants. I'm like, I can't get enough of it now.
Move to Japan. They'll definitely get seafood sticks over there.
I know. That's what I told him. Like, hey, we're obsessed with seafood. You know, Japan has like, they're obsessed with it. I'm like, he was like, yeah, I know, because you know, Japanese, they have to have this diet of chicken and fish, and they don't even eat meat.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Not a lot. I mean, they do eat meat, but for like, you know, not like some of them. They don't like eat meat a lot.
I mean, Japanese people eat everything. You know, meat definitely. Like Hokkaido, they have great cow pastures over there. That's where their milk comes from.
Oh, they eat a lot of it. I thought they eat like sometimes. Like,
I mean, it's not as much as it's not like a hamburger every day type of thing. I mean, some people are definitely like that, but I guess their cuisine culture is more oriented towards seafood.
I'm sorry, I haven't had breakfast this morning, and I was cleaning my room, but I couldn't get my supplies out. It sucks.
Yeah, but me being Spanish, you know, and also Nova and Pizza Joe were all Hispanic. That there's people our usual dishes at night is always like chicken and it's like carne con
rossi. Have you ever had gallo pintos?
Gallo pintos? I've never heard of it.
It's like rice and beans. It's gallo pinto.
That's sort of figured out.
If you guys ever go to also like you know, on rare occasions we like to eat like empanadas and horchata.
Oh yeah.
But there's this one dish and in El Salvador, and they have it a lot in the U.S. It's called pupusas. It's
those are good, man. Pupusa. Yeah, pupusas. They're like it's like not poo sauce, man.
Pina.
Oh no.
No, pupusas are like...
Okay.
I'd like to apologize for being the whitest person in the podcast.
Yeah.
I think I have you beat.
I don't know.
You're not... Oh, wait. Wait. Both of you are white?
What pupusas...
I thought you were like... I thought you guys were like...
No, I'm black, but I'm not... Like, I'm black, but... If you just met me like not you wouldn't tell the difference.
I thought you were like mixed.
No, I'm not mixed. I'm black, but like I'm black on the outside, white on the inside.
Like, you know, like Etika.
Yeah.
Like if I'm in a car and All Star by Smash Mouth comes on, I will sing along.
Oh yeah, you know this one, I forgot his name, but he once animated one of Swoozy's videos, if you heard of Swoozy. But anywho, I forgot his name. But one time, I think his name was
it
Black Sin,
Was it Black Sin?
He would listen to dubstep and fucking dance, and I remember doing that in high school. That was cringy.
Dubstep.
I really like Black Sin's animation.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
I can't believe he chose Pokemon. Yeah. Never discussed that.
Sure.
Yeah, but what Spanish cuisine, we would always have like meat and like rice and what else?
Yeah.
Like beans. I love plátanos. I love eating plátanos.
Plátanos are the best. I mean, if you would like, plátanos with chicken and rice and beans. Oh my god.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, and one thing about Spanish foods, which there are like, if you're like born in Central America, each of them have different types of cuisines or desserts and stuff we would eat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's in El Salvador it's flan, which I love.
Pupusas, for those of you who don't know,
flan.
it's like meat, but inside a tortilla.
Yeah.
Have you ever had this one meal? I forgot, but they like wrap it in a banana leaf and it has meat in it. I forgot. What's it called?
I've heard of something like that. I don't remember what it's called.
I forgot the name of it. It's called the tamales. Yeah, the tamales.
Oh, I love tamales.
Tamales?
Yeah, tamales.
I usually see them wrapped in like corn husks, not like.
Yeah, they were kind of like corn. They are corn
bananas.
husks. Yeah, they're like banana leaf corn husks.
Going to other cultures, I'm also a really big I also really like Greek food, like gyros.
Gyros! I haven't had a gyro in forever.
Greek food like gyros.
Oh man, I would live in Greece. I don't care.
Oh man.
Greece or
Usually,
Italy.
but I barely eat Greek food, so.
Oh yeah, Italian food. For those of you who have not eaten this one dish, I do think you all should eat it. It's called strombolis. It's like a pizza. But
yes, I love strombolis.
I've heard of it.
I have them every day at my school lunch.
Isn't Stromboli the name of that volcano?
No. Go to Sabaros and order a stromboli. If you had a Sabaros somewhere, they serve the best strombolis.
Oh yeah, I love eating those Sabaros.
I ate that
They're the
shit when
best.
I was like 10 years old, and I will never get enough of it. Also,
usually at my school they would always have stuff like with like cheese and like like pepperoni and stuff, and I just eat that shit up like in like less than a minute. That's really good.
I gotta say, like I'm kind of like you guys are making me hungry, but there's a blizzard outside, so I can't go outside. So now I'm mad.
Dude, I opened my door and it was like half of the door is taken up by snow.
Hold up, let me check my window. Let me check my window.
You guys are living in Snowpocalypse, I see, or Snowmageddon.
This is why I don't live up north. I live in Florida.
For me, I'm just like enjoy our rain, enjoy our snow. Yeah, I live over Pacific Northwest, so you're getting our rainstorm right now. Plus with the lake effect, you guys are getting kind of screwed there. But it's around lunch for me, so I'm definitely getting really hungry.
I haven't eaten breakfast. I'm gonna have bananas.
Basically, the snow up there is like covering up the cars, so we're gonna be stuck here for a while.
Hey, you guys said 3:30, right?
Yeah, it's 3:30. Yeah.
All right.
So
I know
so
exactly
thank you.
what to end it on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need some breakfast. Food.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't eaten all day, so I'm kind of hungry. So no offense, but I'm kind of waiting for you to end this so I can eat.
Thanks to the SnoopCast for being on the SnoopCast, and thank the people who are listening here, and thank you James for being on here. It was quite a pleasure being.
It was a lot of fun.
And my name is Bruce here. I have nothing planned for something, but I may maybe like do like another video like 2 weeks from now, I guess. So who else is in this call?
I finally figured out what the background picture is. Is that a mouse attached to a socket?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Call me a gamer.
But you could call me a gamer.
Let's go down the line. Who else?
Me.
I said go. Oh wait, no, hold on. Okay, everyone just go. I don't care.
Andrew, conclude yourself.
Conclude myself. I'm Andrew. I do this. That's about it.
Alright. Well, I'm Reginald. I draw sometimes.
I'm Nova. I'm a voice actor, and I got Star Wars mad pissed because I shit on their movie.
Yeah.
Alright.
Spoiled it like a badass because that movie theater was awful.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, this was the SnoopCast, and thank you all for watching.
Finally did it.
Show us.